Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. Okay, let's get our serious subjects out of the way first. I want to give a shout out and a special prayers up for my Oklahoma rock stars out there who are suffering through the terrible storms. They say that not only Oklahoma, but Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, they also have been hit, but Oklahoma is getting the devastating record flooding and tornadoes, some back to back in some areas there. They're saying that many of the smaller cities have been evacuated. They're telling people that they need to get out. Even the airport has been evacuated. There's concern that the Arkansas, Missouri, and the Mississippi rivers have risen, and also local streams and lakes like that. So a lot of problems there. You guys know Oklahoma was hit really hard a couple of years ago. I think there was a really bad tornado that actually killed some kids at a school. So of course the state is on full alert, and everybody's nerves is on edge, as I can imagine. Okay, it's one thing to get hit once by something so devastating, but then when you just keep getting hit over and over again, yeah, that can definitely wear on the nerves. So prayers up for everybody there, my Oklahoma rock stars in particular. If you have family or friends out there, make sure that you reach out, and hopefully that they are all safe. We love y'all out there. Y'all be careful. And then let's just talk real quick about this $20 bill that your girl Harriet Tubman was supposed to be on. So you guys remember we talked about it in an old top of the blogs back when, my forever President Barack Obama was in office. And, they had proposed, his administration had proposed that they would have Harriet Tubman on this $20 bill. It was supposed to happen this year. Okay, well, it has now come down the pipe that it will not be happening for another 8 years. And we really don't have a good reason why. But Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin said yesterday that the currency's redesign will not happen during the Trump administration. So even though we don't know the official reason, you can just about fucking guess. They went on to say that the bill won't come out for another 8 years roughly, so somewhere around 2028, and even then I'm gonna really have to see. I don't remember exactly what I said in my last video, but I almost feel like I was skeptical even back then that something like this would happen. Of course I was hopeful, but not surprised at all that they have reneged on what this administration didn't propose to have. The nerve that the good old boys would have this celebrated black woman slave who had the audacity to free thousands of slaves, going against the grain and the norm back then. An essential fuck you to all of the white folks out there that was not wanting these slaves to get up north. Did you really think that they were going to allow the most often used, I don't know if that is really what it is, but I feel like the $20 bill is probably one of the most often used legal tenders out there. Do you think they want to be looking at their money and having to see this black woman slave on there with her, her hair tied up and her little, apron over her very basic and standard dress? No, because then that would be a reminder of what their people has done to us. So no, we would rather, I think y'all stupid ass president actually wanted them to put her on the $2 bill. Okay, now how shady is that? When is the last time that you used a $2 bill? My mother-in-law used to send the kids $2 bills all the time for their birthdays and all. That's really the only time that I would see, that kind of carrying on. So frustrating, but not surprising. Again, 2028, I still got that to see. But as of now, you will not be seeing Miss Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. But they are saying that the $5 and the $10 bills will have some redesign. That is still going on as scheduled. Isn't that something? right, you guys, and then I guess what's probably the biggest story for this week as far as entertainment is concerned is Jason Mitchell. Okay, and you guys know him from Straight Outta Compton fame, played Eazy-E very, very well. I mean, we were all impressed with his acting chops, especially with that being his first movie. Also, you know him from The Chi, Lena Waithe's show on Showtime that just got signed on for their 3rd season. Well, it seems that he will not be in that 3rd season. He has been dropped from the show and also dropped from a movie that he was supposed to be on Netflix. Not a movie. Yeah, I think it was a comedy, a movie called Desperado on Netflix. It missed misconduct, or should I say inappropriate behavior on the set of The Chi. Now, when I started hearing about him getting dropped from everything, I said, this shit must be really, really bad. Okay, because everybody was just like, fuck this, okay, and dropped him with the quickness. They haven't really been forthcoming on what he did. However, they're saying that he was having specific issues with his co-star, who was also his girlfriend on the show. In real life, her name is Tiffany Boone, and she had been complaining that he was harassing her, and it had gotten to the point where it was so bad that she would have her fiance on set just so that she would be comfortable in a very uncomfortable setting. And then finally it got to the point where she couldn't even do that even if her boyfriend was there. She finally told the producers that she couldn't do it. She wanted to be released from the show, and they let her go. Okay, and Jason Mitchell stayed. I said, now see, Roxanne is not a lawyer by any means, but I know that sounds like you're protecting the suspect and letting the victim go. She could very easily sue you guys on the Chi's set, producers and directors and the staff, and say that they didn't protect her. They didn't have an environment where she felt safe, and instead allowed her to quit instead of taking care of what the problem was, which was Jason Mitchell. Okay, so that was the first thing when I read that. I was like, oh. Okay, now they're saying that other women also was complaining on the set that he was harassing them in certain ways. Again, they haven't said why. I mean, not why, how. But finally, the producers from The Chi said, you know what, that's it, we dropping her. And not only did they drop him, but Desperados dropped him. That's what I said, from Netflix. Then the final nail in the coffin, Mitchell was dropped by his agency, UTA, and his management company, Authentic Talent and Literacy Management. Okay, so everybody was like, oh, hell fuck nah, bitch. And again, I don't know what Jason Mitchell was doing, but he was a very sought after actor and did well in what he was doing. Why on earth would you make it so that, I mean, you almost have blacklisted yourself? Now, granted, we don't know his side and we don't know what happened, but for everybody to let him go like that, we'll find out the story soon enough. But it's unfortunate because now I'm wondering how The Chi is going to even fare. I know Lena Waithe actually is friends with Kevin from the Scorpion show, and I saw in his comments when he had posted that he wasn't sure how the show was going to continue on without him. She got in the comments and actually said the show will be fine. It's always been an ensemble cast, so they're going to be fine. And I don't know if that is just hopeful optimism or if, I mean, she's the creator of the show, so I'm sure they have the direction that they want the show to go in. And I think it'll be maybe easier that both him and the girlfriend are gone. I mean, I haven't watched but a couple of episodes from this season, so I have to get caught up to really know what the direction of the storylines are going now. So I don't know how easy it's going to be to get him out of the show, his character out of the show. But, these things have happened in the past. It's just that he's such an integral character on the show. So it'll be interesting. I mean, I really would like for that show to last for Lena. And just for everybody else that's on the show. I mean, it is a black show on Showtime that is doing very well. And, a lot of people would lose their jobs. But I just was like, please don't tell me that he was just out there running the fuck amok. And it happens. Some actors and actresses alike, they all get big-headed and they feel like they can continue to behave a certain way and that there's not going to be any repercussions from it. But I guess he's finding out the hard way that Yeah, you just can't, especially in this day and age, you can't allow anything to be misconstrued. If it was so overt that all these people were complaining and people were seeing it and all that, yeah, just it's really too bad. So we'll hold off, final judgment until we hear his side. But so far, nobody has said anything. Not his camp, or too much of the Shy's camp either. They just kind of was like, he gone, we gonna be fine. So when I know more, I will let you guys know. But as of now, no more Jason Mitchell on the Shy. Alright, you guys, so Debbie called me yesterday and was like, have you been on Instagram? You guys know I wasn't on Instagram yesterday. I was busy. Okay, I was at work. So she let me know that little Kevin Jr., Kevin from Wendy Williams' son, Kevin Hunter Jr., Kevin Sr., Hunter Sr.'s son, little Kevin was arrested. The turn of events yesterday was that Wendy Williams had dropped little Kev off at their family home, the family estate, because little Kev was going there to pick up some stuff. Okay, you know that Wendy Williams had bought a home in Manhattan now, so she's staying in the city, so she's not staying there. She dropped him off, said she would pick him up later. Evidently the dad was there when little Kev got there. They did not realize that he was there, but okay, no problem, his dad is there. They said that everything was fine, that him and his dad decided to go to the grocery store, local Piggly Wiggly. They have those out that way. And it was all good, but somewhere along the line, the shit turned and they got into some sort of confrontation. And next thing you know, they're in the parking lot of said store tussling with each other. And it had gotten so bad that Kevin Sr. had his son in a headlock. Okay, they said that the son had punched him in the nose. Anybody out there that's been hit in the nose, you know that shit almost make your knees buckle. I remember I got hit with a softball, child. I ain't never ever pitched softball again. I was done. Okay, up on that mound. Anyway, so the police were called because they're making a scene in the parking lot, I'm sure. And when the police got there, they did arrest Lil Kev, and they have charged him with assault. Now, Big Kev has said that he has no plans of pursuing this legally, and I guess it'll come down to whether or not the prosecutors want to, pursue it as well. But because it's a family matter like this, and emotions are high, and look at me trying to act like I'm a lawyer around here. The real rock star lawyers out there, do you think that they could still pursue this case with all that we know that's been going on in the background with Wendy Williams and Kevin Hunter and his mistress and the new baby and the son, all that, do we think that anything else will happen to this son? Yeah, it's bad, because even though we all talk about it on entertainment gossip sites like Top of the Blogs, we have to remember that this is a real family's life that is going through some shit. And I can imagine that him as a 19-year-old who, I don't know how he's ever felt about his father, but I'm sure that this has changed his opinions of his father in some kind of way. And so it's a lot for them to have to deal with. So, yeah, he had to get the 1-2 real quick on his daddy. Okay, let him know who's the youngest and swiftest around here. There'll probably be more stories of some dissension before everybody is kind of calmed down and just kind of dealt with what it is now and moved on with their lives. But that is the latest on the Wendy Williams Kevin Hunter saga. Alright, I know you guys out there who have these really large student loan debt, including myself, is real bummed at the fact that we did not go to Morehouse and graduate. Well, it wouldn't happen for us women. For you men out there who didn't go to Morehouse and graduate in class of 2019 specifically, y'all might be a little salty that commencement speaker and billionaire Robert F. Smith promised the graduating class that he was going to create a foundation where he would pay off their student loan debt. Okay, now it took a moment or two for it to register what he just said. Did he just say student loan debt, paying it off for everybody that's there? Somewhere around $360 Men graduating from Morehouse, okay, somewhere around $500 million, $500 million in student loan debt. Did he just promise to do that? Well, yes, he did. Soon enough, the audience all erupted in cheers. I mean, can you imagine something like that when you graduate from college and you have this huge student loan debt, this huge student loan bill that you're going to be looking at for at least 30 years, like a fucking mortgage? It has to be the best feeling to know that these kids don't even know how important this is, okay? Those of us that have had to deal with it over the last 10 years, like, you know how big this is, how much of an impact that this will make on the beginning of their careers and really their adult lives as they, try to make a name for themselves, starting their families and all of that. That is a big, big chunk of stress out of their lives. So I think that Mr. Smith should be commended immensely. This is not an ultimate sacrifice, okay? We know what the ultimate sacrifice is, but this is a big sacrifice even for a billionaire, because you just don't have to do this. And he pledged to do that. So I just think, I think we need to give him a go on, and y'all give him a round of applause. Go, Robert F. Smith. I think this is fantastic. And then in a sadder story, send up a rest in peace to Melvin Edmonds, who was a member of the group After 7. You guys remember him as the darker skinned brothers of Kenneth Babyface Edmonds, who was in that group. He was an older brother. Melvin Edmonds did die this past weekend. His son did confirm that, and did I write down how he died? I don't know how he died. I'm sorry about that. But they did say that he had been ill in the past, that he had a stroke in 2011, and he was sickly, but he was actually able to make a comeback to the group. They had like a comeback album in 2016 called Timeless, and he was there for that. I think I kind of read some things about him possibly having drug issues in the past. I don't know if he was still on it or if that's just something that may have contributed to the overall decline of his health. But yeah, he died the other day, okay, from the group After 7. You guys remember After 7, who was, they definitely had that Babyface sound back in the 90s. That was like the sound. If it wasn't Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, it was Babyface and L.A. Reid, but more so the Babyface sound. And you guys remember the songs Can't Stop How I Feel, I'm digging on you, you digging on me, we digging on we, yeah. And ready or not, I'll give you everything, every little thing, baby. And another one, in the heat of the moment, baby, I lost my mind, lost my something, don't know what to do. So you guys remember those songs and many other songs from After 7 that might not have been as blockbuster as those songs were. But yeah, important to the sound of the 90s, important to the music industry even today. He did pass, like I said, on Saturday. He leaves behind one son. I don't believe he was married, okay, but he was 65 years old. Rest in peace to Melvin Edmonds. And then lastly, you guys, in quickies, first of all, somebody get Jada Pinkett Smith. How many times I done told you that show, Red Table Talk, is entirely fucking too much information? Shit, I ain't never wanted to know about the Smith family. Now, the subject of this last episode was Jada Pinkett Smith's her unhealthy relationship with porn, I believe is the way that she put it. And listen, it's fine. People are grown. We having conversations about many things. So I'm fine with that. But damn it, I'm not fixing to talk about my unhealthy relationship with porn with, Jada and my damn mama at a table. Come on. I guess I'm just not that liberal. But the daughter is 18, between her with the dams. And yeah, like, how do you know at 18? It's too fucking much. It's too much. you know, in the quest to always show themselves as artistic, you know, Willow was talking about she just always feels like porn is artistic, and oh, just like, what the fuck is going on here? You know, and even Jada's mama was sitting there looking like, where did I go wrong? It's entirely too much. But anyway, I'm sure many of you guys out there will be like, oh, Roxanne, you know, that's just how they are. Okay, fine. You sitting down with your 18-year-old daughter and your mama talking about people fucking 4 and 5 times in the ass and the coochie and all of this? Oh, too much for me, y'all. But moving on along. They say that Stevie J is trying to get custody of Bonnie Bella. Full custody. As soon as I read that, I was like, are you crazy? Okay, now I know that him and Jocelyn are having problems. He's saying that she will not allow him to see the little girl, take the little girl, talk to the little girl on phone. She strikes me as the type that would be that way. However, I don't see how he thinks he's gonna get full custody of that little girl. I mean, that little girl is Jocelyn's life. She has that little girl all the time. She posts the girl all the time. You can see she's very active in the little girl's life. With all of her other faults and flaws that some of us may think that she has, she is a good mother to that little girl. Okay, so I don't see them giving him full custody, especially with this history with his other kids and all of that. Okay, and the best we're going to be able to do is work out this joint custody situation that I guess they've agreed on in the past, but like I said, Jocelyn is not sticking to it, and that's the best he going to get on that one. Okay, but child support and all that, no. I don't think so. Again, I'm not a lawyer, so the rock star lawyers out there, the real ones, y'all chime in on that one. Speaking of Jocelyn, let's talk about this City Girls beef with Hazel-E. Hazel-E has this stupid ass song. What was the name of the song? I talked about it and even rapped it at one time. I think I even posted it on Instagram. I can't even think of the name of the song, but a few weeks ago, Hazel-E was trying to say that the song Act Up, You Can Get Snatched Up. She was trying to say that that song sounded like her acting up or some shit. Like, I do not even remember, because it doesn't matter, because first of all, nobody gives a fuck about Hazel-E and her music. Nobody is checking for her music. What the City Girls, or the one girl that responded because the other one is in jail, what she just did by responding to Hazel-E's ass is bring more attention to Hazel-E's song. You just gave her the shine that she needed to, you know, get a couple of spins and listen to it on, you know, Apple Music and Spotify and all these other streaming services, just so people can hear if there's any, you know, any similarities in the song, which is not. I was just like, I don't know why that girl fell for that, you know, but it's this whole mentality of the bravada and the women rappers, you know, having to go back and forth with each other. It then got so bad that Jocelyn, you know, was defending Hazel-E, and you know, she was on her Instagram, you know, what it was so funny today. I think she called somebody a booger hole. Nigga, not a booger hole. But yeah, so she's going back and forth defending Hazel-E. You know, Hazel-E is, you know, they can't take women standing up for each other. And then even Trina had to get in, you know, defending the City Girls because they're down from Miami, and damn it, you don't do Miami-Dade that way. But it just was silly, because it was just like, girl, you don't need to respond to every fucking thing. Okay, that is what Hazel wanted, and you gave it to her. And now she got some buzz around this. But it's not the same. It's not the same, you guys. Not at all. And do we need to discuss Foxy Brown at the dungeon show Candy Barres had out there? I guess in New Jersey, was it? You guys, why y'all boo that girl off? That's she was trying to hit y'all with the flow. You know, they had to cut the music off, and you know, she was rapping and going back and forth, you know how Foxy Brown do. And the guy tried to come out there and pull her off the stage, well, tell her to come off the stage, but she couldn't be bothered. You know, she went over on the other side, she's still rapping, you know, she doing all of this. And then when she come back over there this next time, he must have grabbed her arm. She was like, oh, he grabbed her arm and shuffled her off the way, and, you know, poor little Candy. You know, what do you do when you have somebody who, you know, Foxy Brown is a rap legend. You know, when we think of the hits that she had back in the day, I mean, we was all buying excess MAC lipstick with the chestnut brown lip liner and doing our lips real dark because of Foxy Brown. Okay, Foxy Brown had the jams back in the day. Okay, I can remember dancing at the Golden Tail. You know, that's neither here nor there, but I mean, she is a part of this whole legendary rap, you know, female rap thing. And for her to go out like that, I said, now y'all know y'all just terrible to old Foxy Brown. And they couldn't save her, right? When Candy tried to come out there and get her to come back out, you know, the DJ started playing Lil' Kim, so I guess they gave her the answer on that one. We will not have Foxy Brown back out there. But y'all need to do better to y'all legends. Then, congratulations are in order to Ciara. They say that the whispery singer has found herself accepted to the Harvard Business School. Ciara said that it's always been a dream of hers to go to college, and now that dream has been realized. Now, this type of business school that she's going to be attending is not a 2-year program or anything like that. This one here is a 3-day course based on professional achievement and organizational responsibilities as it pertains to business. And after the 3 days have passed and she's completed everything, she will get a certificate of completion, okay, at the end of the program. So that's great for Ciara, following in the footsteps of many others that we have heard that's gone on to do this same certificate type program. I didn't know it was 3 days though. Y'all was acting like these motherfuckers was hard at work for years. The only one that I think that probably was there for some time wasn't it Tyra Banks? Like I think she actually was there for like a 2-year program. Not, you know, not that I'm trying to be smirchifying nothing. I'm just letting you know the difference. And then, you guys, the shenanigans of the Houstons, okay, and namely Pat Houston, who is the CEO of Whitney Houston's estate. It seems that Pat has okayed for a hologram concept concert to go on tour. And she assures us that Nippy would be proud that we will be watching a see-through image of her performing on stage, music of past and even possibly some new songs. You know, I don't know about that. Even though they're promising it will be respectful and tasteful, I just have a weird feeling about holograms. I remember when they did that hologram for Tupac, and it was damn convincing. At least I saw it on TV, but you know, I just, why do people do that? I mean, it seems to be the big thing right now because they have one coming for Amy Winehouse as well. I always hear about all these hologram concerts that's going to be happening, but I never hear them actually happen. But they say the closest one to happen is Amy Winehouse, so we should be hearing something about that soon. But how do you guys feel about these hologram concerts that they are doing? You know, Pat tells us that she's been approached by many projects that she's turned down. It's all about timing, and she feels like now is the time. I feel like Pat Houston and her damn brother and the rest that might be, you know, having something to say about it have not given Whitney Houston, Bobby, Christina a chance to even fucking lay in that ground. Every time you turn around, you're hearing about them, and it's because of the family. So many people trying to make money off of that name. And I mean, I'm not saying that they shouldn't, because this is, you know, the family. You know, Whitney can still continue to provide for their family, but really, like, goddamn, can the lady be dead 10 years and don't nobody say nothing, and then we come out with some shit? No. Okay? Because what do they say? You're worth more when you're dead than when you're alive. So, if any of you guys are looking forward to it, they say that she's got this hologram concert, possible new music, and maybe even a Broadway musical. And then lastly, you guys, congratulations are in order for Trey Songz, who seems to be a new daddy. That's right, you guys. He posted a picture of his new son, Noah, and it was on IG, and it simply said, "My son, Noah, we are blessed and overjoyed. Peace." Okay, now you know Black Twitter was not having it, and Black women Twitter, in specifics, was like, "We." Okay, who the fuck is we? Because wasn't you just head over heels in love with Lori Harvey at the beginning of the year, child? And then wasn't you just a month or so ago you was trying to hit up on Megan Thee Stallion? I mean, nobody's saying that he has to be with the girl and all, but I'm just like, okay, now it makes sense why him and Lori Harvey just ended so abruptly. She probably found out about this baby. Girl, you thought you had him, huh? But nobody has Tremaine. He has said it many times in his music that he is going to continue to be this bachelor, even though he would like to be something else. He can't help himself. Okay, I remember hearing an interview with him talking about Lauren London years ago. He said that is the one that got away. He fucked that up. Okay, so he done already let y'all know plenty times that he ain't shit, ain't never been shit, ain't never gonna be shit, and he got this baby. Now, I thought by now we would have heard who the baby mama is. I didn't do any real researching today, so maybe her name is out there, but I think that they've still been able to kind of keep that woman under wraps so far. I mean, that has got to be the best held secret, because, you know, we be finding out before they even know that they the mama, who the mama is. But yeah, child, that damn Tremaine, Trey Songz to you, he has a new baby. So what should I say other than congratulations to Trey Songz, whoever the baby mama is, and new bouncing baby boy Noah. I'm sorry if the air is blowing into the computer all this time. You guys, it is hot as fuck. Okay, I cannot be in this car without this air. But anyway, let me get on off of here. We do this every single week. So make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.